Listen to the silence, it is there that you will find. The angels' voices are there to be your guide. Nature is calling, are you ready to thrive? Listen to the silence, it is there that you will find. Awaken the spirit within, just let it begin. Open your heart and your mind, and just dance through the night, and hold on real tight.
Well, hello and welcome to the Awakened Feminine Spirit on Coach Cafe Radio, the self-empowerment place to meet where you get your weekly cup of inspiration. And today is Wednesday, January 17th. And here on the Awakened Feminine Spirit, we offer you enlightened conversations for women by women to help you to awaken to your feminine spirit and live your best life. I am your co-host, Certified Master Life Coach Kathleen Martin, also known as your Balanced Life Coach, coming to you live from the beautiful Hamptons, New York, along with my co-host.
And I am Monica Bennett, naturopathic doctor and owner and creator of The Positive Mind, also the author of How May I Serve? And we are here to awaken and enlighten and have a meaningful conversation.
Yes, indeed, Monica, and we invite you to join in on our enlightened conversation by calling 646-649-1015. That's 646-649-1015. And you do have to press the number 1 when you want to raise your hand and ask that question or just join in on our conversation. And we will also have our chat room open if you're sitting there on your computer and would prefer to type in your question. And we want to send out a very big thank you to all of our followers. And if you do like what you hear, we would love it if you would follow us right here on Blog Talk Radio on the homepage under the banner. And, of course, on social media. And for the Awakened Feminine Spirit, it's very easy. On Facebook, you'll just type in the Awakened Feminine Spirit. And today, the name of our show is Awakening with the Feminine Spirit with the Archangels with Belinda WOMACK. And Belinda WOMACK is the author of an amazing book called Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life. And, I have Belinda's book, and it is a guidebook to have with you daily because it is daily intervention, which you definitely need, right, Monica, in your daily life?
Oh, yes.
We were talking about that before the show.
Absolutely. It's things come at us at all different directions, and I always use the analogy from The Wizard of Oz. He's a little fire for you, Scarecrow, because we can get things come at us, and it seems like they're coming out of nowhere. However, we are the creators of our life. But Belinda, I want to start off asking you. How can the archangels, when things are coming at us, sometimes in all different directions, and sometimes we get that feeling of overwhelmingness or things aren't going right in the day, what can we do to ask for guidance from the archangels?
Well, what the archangels are going to recommend is that the first thing we do is to take a deep breath, and then to keep taking a few more deep breaths. And then with that, just to say inside of our hearts, 2 very, very powerful, incredibly powerful words: I surrender. Because by taking a breath and saying, I surrender, that's like a welcome for our guardian angels and all the angels and helpers in heaven just to step in, calm us down so that we can really see and hear, what belongs to us. Lots of times we react to drama that doesn't even belong to us. So that's what they say. Just begin there. Breathe, surrender, call in your helpers. We're here.
That's beautiful.
Exactly. And for those of you who have not heard of Belinda, I want to give just a bit of a bio here, because Belinda doesn't just believe in angels. She's been channeling angelic wisdom to support individuals, couples, and families for over 25 years. And she is, as we've mentioned, the author of Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life. So, Belinda, you have quite an interesting beginning here, how you ended up actually being communicated with by the angels was pretty unique in your life at the time. You want to give our listeners a bit of a story of how you came to do what you're doing now, starting 25 years ago.
So the short story is I was working in a cell biology lab in pediatric oncology, working on a stem cell sample, and I had what I call my out-of-laboratory experience, where I found myself in a stone room. So it was pretty kind of freaky at the time. I was in a stone room. The walls were round. There was a dirt floor. And I was like, what am I doing here? This isn't going to work with sterile technique at all. And there was this beautiful golden ray of light, and an angel appeared, and the angel was dressed in ruby robes with a trumpet. So I was able to recognize the angel as Gabriel because the trumpet gave it away. And Gabriel just spoke to me telepathically and said, Belinda, your work is going to change. Human beings have forgotten that they are God's divine children, and they need help to remember that. And I said back to the angel, I think you've called the wrong person. Look, I'm a biologist. I'm not even supposed to believe in angels, even though I do. And Gabriel said, well, you can resist us, but you're gonna surrender. Is basically the message. So that's how it began, and I thought I was, in that stone room for hours, but I was snapped back into my body, looked at my watch, and not even a minute had gone by. So that's how it all began, and they were right. I got drafted. It took me a little while of resisting, but ultimately, a few months later, I surrendered, and this is the work I've been doing ever since, and that was quite a long time ago.
Wow.
So interesting. So interesting.
My goodness, yeah.
That's fabulous. It's and does science have anything to do with the archangels?
Well, what the angels encourage all of us to do is to be scientists. It's the way our human brains were designed. Ask for proof. If you're not sure if angels are really around to help you, which is really the big question, then, ask for proof, but don't try and control an angel or any helper in heaven. I want to mention that. Just like human beings don't like to be controlled and bossed around, they don't really like to be controlled and bossed around either. So, just if we keep it gentle and we say, hey, with all due respect, can you show me that I can trust you? Can you show me that you're here for me? You're going to get lots of evidence, and that evidence will prove the hypothesis. Are angels real, and are they real for me?
Yeah, I feel as though, I can see a lot of listeners. I'm just going to remind you again to raise your hand if you do have a question for Belinda as we're going along here, because, I certainly did, and I think questioning is very, very important. So please raise your hand if you have a question. But one of the things, Belinda, that I feel is as I expand into my life and include the unseen realm, the what I felt was, I just got this sense that there has to be help for us here, because it's pretty difficult at times. There's can be a lot of suffering and struggling, and how can I connect every day with this and this angelic guidance that's all around me when I'm at my, wit's end, or I'm on my knees here when things are getting very difficult. And, we live in a climate right now where it's pretty darn challenging. So, when you came to that realization, what did you do next? I mean, how did you welcome in and I understand that there, and you helped me perhaps off where you kind of have to be in the same, acknowledgement of the vibration of pure love all around you, that you can actually hear and sense that this is the truth.
Well, Kathleen, first of all, where we begin as human beings is to hear that we're not alone. There's a lot of help for us. And that's where the angels ask us to begin. And when I say angels, yes, I communicate with a group of angels called the 12 Archangels. Their number just means a cycle. They help us in our evolution. That's why they exist. But what they say to us is we get kind of conditioned, usually early in childhood, or many of us, especially women, to be caretakers, to be the caregivers, and that we're on our own. So one of the big objectives of both angels, ascended masters, helpers in heaven, that means our loved ones, they're all trying to help us, is to hear you're not alone. You're not in the schoolroom by yourself. If you need help, we're here. We need you to breathe. We need you to feel your feelings, because if you want to connect with your intuition, which is the way you can really hear guidance, you have to feel your feelings, because it comes through that part of your brain where feeling, emotion, intuition, and creativity, all the feminine part of your brain, that's how you connect. But so those are the key ingredients: is hold it. Human being, especially female, you've gone into, I have to be responsible for everything and everyone and fix it all right now. Well, take a breath. Let's look and see what really is going on here, because human beings, we create our own reality, and we draw to us based on what's going on inside of often it's our subconscious. That subconscious is that bringing in those experiences for us to learn. So if we can remember, hey, the angels are helping us to learn so that life just keeps getting better and better and better. And that's really what they want to help us with, is to gently, for those of us who are ready, let's let the drama go. Let's see what we're really responsible for. Let's learn how to receive and help and watch miracles happen, because it really is that simple, especially when, again, we just start with where we began your show. Let's breathe. Let's say, I surrender. And then, okay, what's my next step? What do I need to do here?
So Belinda, say that you're quieting your mind, you're breathing, and you're getting in touch with that inner voice within you. You're getting in touch with your feelings and feeling your feelings. And does it help? Do the angels help you? They give you signs when you want to manifest something? Say that your finances, you're really low, and you're concerned, how am I going to pay my mortgage or my rent or my car payments, and I have a family to feed, and I just lost my job. And how can you hear the angels when you calm yourself down? What are the messages? What do you think what's coming through? What besides surrendering? So then, what signs will come through? Is it individual? Is it uniquely yours?
Well, first of all, help's going to show up.
Okay.
So angels are very action-oriented, and they help us with our receiving and with our manifestation. But in the situation that you've described, Monica, what the message for that is that money starts with the letters MO, as does mother, as does mortgage, as does Monica. So
that's great.
The answer is that when we have a need, whether it's a financial need, or we need a lover, or we need a new job, or we need a miracle, we want to call on the Divine Mother, right, the Divine Feminine, and ask her to receive what it is that we need into our reality for us. And what helps us to do that is to feel our feelings, to ask Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, whatever you want to call the Creator, to fill us with trust. Is because it's all about vibration. And see, when we go into fear, that's when we go into lack, because fear separates us, in a sense, from abundance, because that's what fear does. It's separating. So when we need to bring in resources, we need the help of the Divine Mother, and we need help from Mother Earth, because we are here on this planet, and we're not going to be abandoned. That's the whole point of the 12 Archangels. Each and every one of us, no matter what, is God's divine child. And as we remember that and just claim it and say, wait a minute, I'm your child. I need you to take care of me here. We will be taken care of. Now, does that mean we get to sit and hang out on our sofa and eat Cheetos and watch TV? Likely not, because we need to exchange our creative energy. We all have a purpose here, but if we need to, take a rest till we gather our energy back, of course, that's all part of the story. But we are creators of our reality. We are co-creators. And we have a tremendous amount of help to bring in something new. If that old job has been taken away, it's always a blessing. I don't have to tell a life coach and a naturopath that. It's always a blessing. It's about holding steady and saying, thank you for helping me to receive in what's next. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trust,
the whole,
faith.
Yeah, trusting. Yeah. And holding steady. I love that you said that, Belinda, because I feel as though that's exactly what happens to people. They get so thrown off balance that it's hard for them to get back on. And I know you use different ways of helping to facilitate that, including guided imagery and using the chakras and colors. So share that with our listeners, how you to get back into that connection.
Well, so one of my favorite little exercises, which is actually not in Lessons from the 12 Archangels, there's all of the colors are there of the chakras and many, many wonderful exercises. So this is just an adaptation. But when we're afraid, and we're afraid of something we're afraid something's going to happen, or we're not going to get what we want, or it's not going to go the way that we want it to go, or that we need it to go, what the angels say is just step into a flowing violet fire river. Now, that's just a purple river. Violet fire is the energy in our crown chakra, right at the top of our head. Chakras are just batteries of spiritual energy. We have a spiritual body, we have an emotional body, a mental body, and a physical body. And lo and behold, our Creator has always given us the manifesting, powerful, super powerful love energy. It's right in our spiritual body. We activate it through our creative imagination and focusing on colors. So it's always right there for us. So something very simple to do, and it works even if you can't imagine a color. Still works, just use intention. Step into that river. Allow the violet fire or the purple, it all works the same, but allow that energy to flow through your body, through the front of you, and then it's pushing the fear out the back. Take some deep breaths and just keep saying, I release this. I give it to you, God. I give this fear to you, Creator. I send it back to the central sun. It all works the same way. And you just keep releasing until you will see or feel that river will turn turquoise. And that's the energy of dreams come true. So what you've done is you've actually cleared the fear. So whatever it was that you were afraid of literally cannot manifest, because if you don't have it inside of you, it can't happen outside of you. So you've now filled your vessel with love and forgiveness. You've transformed the fear. So now you get to be successful. Will it look a little bit different than what you expect? Maybe, maybe not. But you're gonna find that now you're not afraid of that worst case scenario, and so it's not going to happen.
That was wonderful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was really beautiful. So our thoughts and our feelings and our actions have a lot to what we're thinking, which causes our feelings, which causes our thinking, which is this loop that goes back and forth, and then the actions that we take. So we need to meet the angel sort of halfway, or do something that gives affirmation that we desire something more than the fear. So it's the courage to work through, to navigate through these, because courage is feeling the fear, but having the faith that things is going to work out. So do you have to work through that? Is it a process to work through, or you just have the faith and the fear just immediately goes away?
So, Monica, when you visualize or you hold the intention for a violet fire, which again, fire from the angels just means energy. It's a light, which is thought, and sound, which is emotion, fusion, which creates love. So we could call it violet love or violet energy. But as soon as you focus on that energy, it clears the fear out of your mind, and you're going to start to breathe. What we don't understand as human beings is that we do manifest our experiences, meaning we create our experiences by what we think and what we feel. But 90+% of the time, what's driving what we're thinking and feeling is coming from our subconscious. So that could be what our ancestors were afraid of. But we don't realize that that's where that anxiety, we don't get it, that that's where it's coming from. But the wonderful power of the God's rainbow of colors, that violet fire energy, it does know. It has a consciousness that says, I need to reach down to Kathleen's left little toe and pull that fear out of that past life so that she's not afraid to walk forward. And she knows.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
She knows where to put her next, how to take her next step. So when we need to take action, then it becomes clear to us, and it's not from a panic position. And women especially, they can be pushed so far into their masculine, so that we're doing all the time. And the more that we can just work with these, beautiful colors and just keep clearing that subconscious, and there's lots of tools and lessons from the 12 archangels to do that. When we clear the subconscious, there's more room in us for love. Love manifests abundance. That's just the way it works, right? It's pretty instantaneous. So, when we do give ourselves time to just take a tiny little bit of time for our own healing and our own transformation, then that kind of moves us into our being. And being, especially for women, we're powerful receivers. And if we can understand, we're not just receiving miracles in for ourselves. When we do that, we're helping to receive in peace for humanity. So that's the blessing of saying, well, what am I feeling here? And is this from now, or is this from the past, or does it matter? I don't want to have this anxiety in me anymore. And then we can put it in the color purple, and then we move on. We evolve.
Yeah, that was very important to bring up, Belinda, because that's one of the messages for the Awakened Feminine Spirit, is for women to understand very much what you just shared, that we can have as an experience today, like you were saying, you know, you get pushed so far into your masculine, and you can tell by the messages that are coming from your body, and if you don't listen, and it will get bigger, the message will get bigger, and then you're getting a very negative feeling in your body, and then, you know, it's very hard to be present then. It's very hard to be present in the practical world with your children, with your partner, with your colleagues at work, however you have to show up. So that message is very important, that you really do take. It's all about really deeply and completely loving, honoring, and accepting that feminine spirit that's waking up, so that you can have a balance between the two and be able to have the life that you want, and it doesn't feel so out of balance that you may be doing something harmful to yourself, say, or something like that. So very, very important. I want to again mention, we didn't mention in the beginning, Belinda's website to find out all about her is Belinda, WOMACK, WOMACK.com. Please go there. There's so much to offer. And her book is loaded with exercises, just as you've been hearing. So very powerful. If you include them in your day, you will begin to notice the differences. So I just want to add that in as we're getting closer, Belinda, because what you're sharing is so very important. I hope that that's one of our messages. It's very important to listen.
Well, and the other thing, Kathleen, and thank you so much for mentioning my website, is that women need to hear there's a tremendous amount of support for us. There really is. Again, you know, we do tend to be the caregivers and the caretakers and exhaust ourselves because that maternal instinct is so strong. Even for myself, I don't have any children in this life, but I feel like I have hundreds of children, and so the angels, you know, they're real, and calling on them and allowing them, inviting them to fill us with strength, to fill us with the reminder to call our energy back to us. So that's a very simple exercise for your audience, is just to, when you wake up in the morning, or if you just feel like you're about to snap in the day, take a deep breath and say, I call my energy back to me. I call it back to me cleansed, purified, and supercharged. You know, because again, when we're just out there taking care of everybody and sacrificing ourselves, which can be, it's not what we want to do, right, ladies? But it's just kind of what happens. It's really wonderful to just, because you'll feel it. You know, everything that I've shared from the angels, you know, test it. Call your energy back. You're gonna feel that, and it's like, wow, I exist. You know, because I think that's a miracle that as women we can hold, right? We are willing to experience the miracle of discovering we are important, we exist, we matter, and we have power.
Right. Exactly. Gave you the chills.
Yeah, that's so true. And the word matter, I think, comes from mata also, which is mother. So we create matter also. So it's the feminine is we are powerful beings, and we have. I always say that energy's been suppressed, oppressed, and depressed, but now it's surfacing, and our voice is being heard. and it's coalescing with the masculine energy, so it's starting to balance itself out. So we do need to be heard, and these archangels are just lovely to help us participate in that recovering our spirit. So beautiful, Belinda. Thank you so much.
Yes, yeah. And I'm just going to see if there is someone here waiting to ask a question. So bear with me one moment. Let's see. Hello, are you waiting to ask a question with Belinda? Try that one more time. Hello? Nope, doesn't look like it, Belinda. I wanted to also bring up, as we are getting close to wrapping it up, that you also are the creator of the 12 Archangels University, which is an online change your everyday reality to heaven on earth educational platform. So let us know about that.
So the 12 Archangels University is it's a really fun online school where there are lots of video lessons, but I also teach a live class through the telephone once a month. And we work with the Universal Weight Tarot cards, but just the images, because the images are so clear, and they help to open that creative, spiritual, intuitive part of the brain, sometimes called the right hemisphere, in a clean way. So it helps the students to really awaken to their own intuition and just experience some really profound self-discovery and very, very deep transformation. That's what the university is all about. But I've had students that couldn't visualize colors, and now they can. They couldn't dream, now they can. So it's really about waking up that feminine part of the brain. For both men and women. Yeah, right. It's a lot of fun too.
Sounds so delightful.
Yeah, I love that you're working with men as well, because, I feel as though there has been, you can tell by the climate in our, in our culture here, what's going on, such an out of balance experience, and that this conversation is so very important between men and women to bring us back together, to balance it out and have the kind of world that really is possible. Boy, do my hope is that if you are a mother, please teach this to your children as early as possible, as early as that they can understand, because they will have the benefit of being introduced to that and bring it forward in their life and really have an effect. Have an effect on everyone around them. So I love that that you have that offered to people to be able to really get in there, and it's a re-education, right?
Well, sure, because we learn to shut down our feelings. Especially when we're sensitive, we just have to survive, and we can shut down those feelings and shut down those needs, and just keep going and plug into that responsibility. So, when we want to hear our own guidance, which is essential, really, that's part of our lesson here on Schoolroom Earth, well, we need to use more of our brain than lots of times we get kind of pushed into using in our patriarchal world. So there are gentle and easy ways to awaken the brain, so that we all have access to really knowing what our truth is. That's what the angels say is so important. You got to know what your truth is, and then you'll receive the guidance on, well, how do I follow it, or what do I do with it? Got to start with, well, what is it? And that comes down to, what do I feel? What do I need? Where am I?
Right.
With me?
Right.
those very powerful questions, very powerful, consistently asking them and taking the time. Take the time in your day. You can, even in moments, I know for myself, when I take care of that and I make that my priority, it's amazing. It's amazing that what occurs next. And, we need to pay very close attention to our feelings and our emotions. It's communication to me. And, and then taking get Belinda's book, it is really truly a guide in your day. And these exercises are, they are remarkable in what they help to activate within you, and like we're using the word awaken. So very, very good. So Belinda, we are getting to the end. Monica, do you have anything else to ask Belinda before we wrap it up?
I just I love everything that you said, Belinda, and I would love to have a conversation with you after this also, because it's just so fascinating. And I'm familiar with some neuroscience and what goes on in the brain chemistry and how we get overloaded, and how to calm the mind. And for me, I'm a naturopath, so I'm very in favor for natural things and the natural environment. So I'm sure the angels are for that as well, correct?
Oh, yes, definitely. Angels are everywhere in nature. They say, that's what grounds us.
Yes.
See?
Yes. So that's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Belinda. It's been such an honor and a privilege and a blessing to have you here on this show tonight.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for having me as a guest this evening.
Oh, you are very welcome, Belinda. Very powerful. So I hope for all of you listening will definitely listen back. I always recommend, please listen back. It's pretty fast moving. There's a lot being shared. Please share it with your friends and your family and anyone that you know who would benefit from our enlightened conversation. All women definitely need to hear this. And again, Belinda's website is BelindaWOMACK.com. Very simple, her name, BelindaWOMACK.com. And the name of her book is Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life. So much to offer. So thank you again from the bottom of our hearts, Belinda. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And we'll meet you next time on the Awakened Feminine Spirit in the Coach Cafe. Thanks a lot, Monica. Thanks, Belinda.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.